People think the hardest part is building an empire. It is not. The real danger begins after you start winning. When you are small, nobody studies you. Nobody waits for your mistake. Nobody pretends to love you because you are useful. You can fail in silence, rebuild in silence, and move without the world measuring every step. But the moment you rise, everything changes. People look at you differently. Some admire you. Some need you. Some envy you. Some smile while quietly calculating what your success can do for them. Machiavelli understood this better than almost anyone. He watched rulers rise, gain power, and then destroy themselves because they never prepared for what success brings. They thought the climb was the danger. They were wrong. Number 1, control yourself before you build anything. Before you build an empire outside you, you must build a ruler inside you. Most people skip this. They chase money while their emotions still own them. They chase status while their ego still reacts like a child. They chase influence while one insult can still make them lose control. That is dangerous. Because you can gain resources before you gain self-command. You can gain followers before you gain discipline. You can gain attention before you gain maturity. And when that happens, success does not make you powerful. It makes your weakness visible. Machiavelli understood that a ruler who cannot control himself becomes easy to control through provocation. Machiavelli understood that a ruler who cannot control himself becomes easy to control through provocation. The enemy does not need to defeat him directly. They only need to trigger him at the right time. One insult, one rumor, one public embarrassment, one disrespectful comment. Then he reacts. He reveals. He destroys his own position. Psychologically, emotional reaction narrows judgment. When anger takes over, the brain prioritizes defense and attack. You stop seeing long-term consequences. You only want immediate relief. That is how men ruin years of work in 10 seconds. A controlled man feels the pressure but does not become the pressure. He pauses. He observes. He chooses. That pause is power. Imagine this. You finally start rising. Your business grows. Your name spreads. Your confidence increases. Then someone publicly disrespects you. The old version reacts instantly. He posts emotionally. He explains too much. He attacks. He exposes how easy he is to move. Now everyone watching has learned something valuable. This man can be provoked. The new standard does not react for relief. He responds for advantage. Maybe he stays silent. Maybe he answers calmly. Maybe he waits until the right moment. Maybe he lets the other person expose themselves. Machiavelli would never mistake a loud reaction for strength. A man who must respond immediately is not powerful. He is available to manipulation. The old identity says, I had to defend myself. The new standard says, I choose the moment. Weak people react to protect pride. Strong people control pride to protect position. Average people show their weak points. Strategic people make their weak points difficult to find. If you cannot rule your own reaction, you are not building an empire. You are building a larger stage for your weakness. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I rule myself first. Number 2, never let success make you careless. Struggle keeps people sharp. Success makes them sleepy. When you are fighting to survive, you check every detail. You question every decision. You watch every dollar. You study every person. You do not have the luxury of arrogance. But after the first wins, something changes. Doors open easier. People respect you more. Money comes faster. Opportunities appear without begging. And slowly, your guard drops. That is when success becomes dangerous. Machiavelli understood that power is rarely lost in one dramatic moment. It is often lost through comfort. A ruler wins, relaxes, assumes the world will stay the same, and stops preparing for the threat that is already adapting. Success feels like proof, but success only proves that your strategy worked under yesterday's conditions. It does not prove it will work tomorrow. Psychologically, victory can create overconfidence bias. When something works, the mind starts believing the method is safer and more permanent than it really is. You stop looking for danger because the recent past feels like evidence that danger is gone. It is not gone. It is waiting for your discipline to soften. Here's what most people never notice. The most dangerous moment is not when you are losing. It is right after you start winning. That is when you forgive small mistakes. That is when you ignore small leaks. That is when you stop questioning people. That is when you start believing your own image. And the world punishes that. Napoleon rose through brilliance, speed, and calculation. But even great strategic minds can become vulnerable when success turns confidence into overreach. The same mind that wins through discipline can lose through pride. Success must be handled like fire, useful, powerful, but never harmless. A controlled man treats every win as a checkpoint, not a finish line. He asks, what can take this away? Where am I becoming soft? Who is adapting against me? What did this victory hide? What weakness did success make me stop seeing? That is how you stay alive after the first rise. The old identity celebrates and relaxes. The new standard celebrates and audits. Weak people win once and coast. Strong people win and prepare for the next threat. Average people believe comfort means safety. Strategic people know comfort can be the beginning of collapse. Success does not destroy you directly. It makes you careless enough to destroy yourself. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I stay sharp after winning. Number 3. Watch how people change when you rise. Success is a truth serum. It reveals people, not always loudly. Sometimes the shift is quiet. A slower reply, a colder tone, a compliment that feels forced. A friend who was present during your struggle but distant during your success. A person who suddenly becomes warmer because now you are useful. When you start rising, watch the room. Psychologically, social comparison is automatic. People measure themselves against those around them, especially people close to them. Your growth can become a mirror. Not everyone can look into that mirror without resentment. Imagine this. For years, someone treated you casually. They liked you when you were struggling because your struggle made them comfortable. You were not a threat. You were familiar. You were beneath their insecurity. Then you start winning. Your discipline improves. Your money improves. Your body improves. Your reputation improves. Suddenly, they become strange. They make jokes that cut too deep. They downplay your progress. They say you changed. What they mean is, you stopped fitting the role that made them comfortable. Now comes the dangerous part. Do not rush to hate them. Study them. A strategist does not become emotional when masks slip. He collects information. He watches who remains steady. He watches who becomes needy. He watches who becomes cold. He watches who claps in public but competes in private. Machiavelli would tell you that rising changes the value people attach to you. Some will love the new value, some will fear it, some will try to extract from it. Do not be naive. The people around you during your climb are not automatically the people who deserve access during your rise. The old identity wants everyone to stay the same. The new standard accepts that success reveals what comfort hid. Weak people ignore changed behavior because truth feels painful. Strong people observe it without panic. Average people listen to words. Strategic people watch the patterns. When you rise, people do not become different. They become visible. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I watch the room. Number 4. Choose your circle like your future depends on it. Because it does. The wrong people near you can cost more than an enemy far away. An enemy outside the gate must attack you. A weak person inside the gate can ruin you by being careless, emotional, jealous, ignorant, or easily bought. Machiavelli believed a ruler could be judged by the people around him, not because his circle was decoration, but because his circle shaped what he heard, what he missed, what he trusted, and what reached him too late. Your circle is not just company. It is your early warning system. It is your blind spot. It is your reputation. It is your vulnerability. Most people choose their inner circle based on comfort. They keep people close because they are familiar, agreeable, fun, or emotionally easy. But comfort is a weak standard for anyone building something serious. You need people who can tell you the truth, not people who worship your mood. You need people who protect the mission, not people who feed your ego. You need people whose loyalty is proven under pressure, not people who clap only when it benefits them. Psychologically, flattery lowers self-correction. When people around you constantly agree, your brain receives false confirmation. Bad decisions start to feel intelligent because no one near you has the courage or incentive to challenge them. That is how leaders become surrounded and still blind. Machiavelli warned against flatterers because they feel good while making you weaker. A flatterer does not stop you from walking into damage. He smiles while you walk. Then he adjusts his loyalty after you fall. A controlled man separates three categories: people who are useful, people who are loyal, people who are both. Never confuse them. Some people bring skill but no loyalty. Some bring loyalty but little competence. Some bring neither, but demand access because of history. And a rare few bring both value and truth. Those people are gold. Here's what most people never notice. Access is not love. Access is responsibility. Not everyone who knows your past deserves your future. Not everyone who supported your struggle deserves authority in your empire. Not everyone close to your emotions deserves proximity to your decisions. A powerful person protects his inner circle like a fortress. He does not let every old friend become an advisor. He does not let every admirer become a confidant. He does not let every loyal person become strategic. He assigns roles based on reality, not guilt. The old identity keeps people close because it feels bad to outgrow them. The new standard keeps people close because they strengthen the mission. Weak people choose comfort. Strong people choose truth. Average people confuse familiarity with loyalty. Strategic people test people by pressure, discretion, and consistency. Your circle will either protect your empire before the attack or help the attack enter through the side door. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I choose my circle wisely. Number 5. Never reveal your full capability too early. Not everyone deserves to know what you can do. Read that again. Your full strength is not public property. Some people reveal everything because they want validation. They want others to see how talented they are, how connected they are, how much they know, how much they are building, how far they plan to go. That feels powerful. But often, it is weakness begging to be admired. Machiavelli understood the value of controlled perception. If people know your full capability, they can measure it. If they can measure it, they can prepare for it. If they can prepare for it, surprise disappears. And surprise is power. This does not mean lying. It means pacing revelation. A strategist shows enough to establish value, but not enough to become predictable. Psychologically, uncertainty creates caution. When people do not fully know your ceiling, they hesitate. They test less carelessly. They assume there may be more beneath the surface. That hidden space protects you. Imagine someone at work, in business, or in a social circle. He reveals every plan before it matures. He tells everyone his next move. He explains his strategy. He exposes his resources. He talks about what he is building before the foundation is strong. Then the criticism comes. The imitation comes. The sabotage comes. The unnecessary opinions come. And now his own mouth has created friction against his own future. The new standard moves differently. He reveals results, not every process. He shares what serves the moment, not what feeds curiosity. He keeps some skills private. He keeps some plans silent. He keeps some options unseen. He understands that power often grows better in darkness than in applause. Now comes the dangerous part. Some of you overshare because silence makes you feel invisible. You confuse being seen with being powerful. You confuse being understood with being safe. You confuse explaining yourself with controlling the situation. But every time you reveal too much, you give people material. You reveal your hunger. You reveal your insecurity. You reveal your strategy. You reveal your next move. You reveal the exact place where pressure can be applied. Number 6, understand that success creates enemies. You do not need to harm anyone to become hated. Sometimes rising is enough. This is one of the hardest truths to accept because it feels unfair. You worked, you suffered, you sacrificed. You stayed disciplined when others wasted time. Then you start to win, and suddenly people treat your success like an insult. Machiavelli would not be surprised. Human beings compare. They measure. They envy. They disguise insecurity as criticism. They call your ambition arrogance because your movement exposes their stillness. Psychologically, envy often appears when someone else's success creates painful self-awareness. Your rise can make another person feel behind, inferior, or exposed. Instead of using that discomfort as fuel, they may turn it outward and make you the problem. That is how resentment is born. You become the villain in a story they created to protect their ego. Here's what most people never notice. Some enemies are not created by conflict. They are created by contrast. You became disciplined, and your discipline made their excuses look weak. You became successful, and your success made their stagnation visible. You became calm, and your calm made their chaos embarrassing. You changed, and your change exposed their refusal to change. That contrast creates pressure. Weak people try to shrink themselves to avoid this. Strong people accept the cost. A powerful person does not personalize every form of resistance. He understands that friction is part of visibility. The higher you rise, the more people can see you, and not everyone looking upward is inspired. Some are waiting. Some are hoping. Some are preparing criticism for the first mistake. This is why you must not build your empire on approval. Approval is unstable. It changes with mood, envy, rumor, and convenience. Build on standards. Build on systems. Build on self-control. Build on competence. Build on the ability to keep moving without constant emotional permission from the crowd. Abraham Lincoln faced hatred from all sides during one of the most brutal periods in American history. He could not wait for universal approval before acting. He had to carry the weight of opposition and still move toward the larger objective. That is leadership, not being liked, being steady while being misunderstood. Number 7. Build what can survive without you. This is the final test. Not how high you rise. Not how loudly people praise you. Not how much attention you collect. The real question is, can what you build stand without you holding it up every second? Most people build around themselves. Every decision runs through them. Every problem needs them. Every system depends on their memory, energy, mood, and presence. At first, this feels powerful. You are needed. You are central. You are the engine. But Machiavelli would see the danger immediately. If everything depends on one person, the empire is not strong. It is fragile with a confident face. True power multiplies beyond your body. It becomes structure. It becomes systems. It becomes trained people. It becomes standards that operate even when you are not in the room. Psychologically, over-control creates bottlenecks. When one person must approve every action, the system cannot scale. It becomes slow, dependent, and vulnerable. The builder becomes the ceiling of the thing he built. That is not empire. That is a prison with your name on it. Imagine a man who builds a business entirely through personal effort. He answers every message, makes every decision, solves every problem, holds every relationship together. Nothing moves without him. People call him hardworking, but he is not building freedom. He is building dependence. The moment he gets tired, sick, distracted, or removed, the whole structure starts shaking. The new standard builds differently. He documents, he trains, he delegates. He creates processes. He chooses people who can think. He builds standards that survive mood. He replaces chaos with structure. This requires humility, because part of you wants to be irreplaceable. You want to feel central. You want to believe nobody can do it like you. But that ego is expensive. Machiavelli understood that lasting rulers did not simply dominate personally. They built systems, alliances, laws, structures, and trained people who could carry power beyond one emotional human being. The old identity wants to be needed. The new standard wants to build what lasts. Weak people build everything around ego. Strong people build systems that outlive ego. Average people create dependence. Strategic people create continuity. An empire that collapses when you step away was never an empire. It was a performance. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I build what outlasts me. Before you build your empire, understand what you are really asking for. You are not just asking for money, you are asking for exposure. You are not just asking for influence. You are asking to be watched. You are not just asking for success. You are asking for pressure, enemies, temptation, flatterers, responsibility, and tests your old identity may not survive. So control yourself first. Never let success make you careless. Watch how people change when you rise. Choose your circle like your future depends on it. Never reveal your full capability too early. Understand that success creates enemies, and build something that can survive without you. This is not motivation. Motivation tells you to chase the empire. Identity replacement teaches you to become the kind of person who can survive having one. The old identity wanted the reward. The new identity prepares for the cost. The old identity wanted applause. The new identity builds protection. The old identity wanted to be seen. The new identity wants to last. Machiavelli does not teach you to become cruel. He teaches you to stop being naive about power. Stoicism does not teach you to become emotionless. It teaches you to stop letting success, fear, praise, or pressure own your judgment. So now you decide. Are you building something real? Or are you just chasing a bigger stage for the same uncontrolled version of yourself? Like this video if this hits something real. Subscribe for more videos about Machiavelli mindset, discipline, power, strategy, self-control, and identity transformation. Share this with someone who is building something right now before success exposes the weakness they ignored. And drop this final affirmation in the comments. I build what cannot break. Remember this, the climb is not the danger. The danger is reaching the top with the same weak mind that started at the bottom.